Hello and welcome. This is all the gaming pickup sections from 2024 put together in one neat package. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm recording this before editing it. Sit back and relax, or just have it on as noise in the background. I don't really mind. But if you leave a like, I would appreciate that. And here's to more gaming pickups in 2025. Should be a little bit easier to do this kind of thing because I'm only doing them once a month now. But hey, here we go. What's up first? All right, yeah, one of the reasons why I implemented the camera is because I wanted to show off the games that I've been picking up. I usually get a couple games a week, not maybe at least one game a week. If I don't have anything, I have a plethora of games that I can pull off the shelf and show off, just to be like, hey, this is in my collection. Isn't that pretty cool? But this week I have a couple of games that I picked up here. The first one being Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, the new Super Monkey Ball game. The day one edition came with this cover, which I hate, but it also came with like an art book in there, adventure book they call it. I think there's like a couple like drawings and stuff, and I think there's like a coloring book page or whatever in here as well. So it's kind of cute. I mean, it's kind of cute. I just hate getting sleeves with games. Like, if you could just pack this into the game case, that'd be great. Game case itself, it doesn't look too bad. I didn't have time to play it this past week. I spent my time with Shadow of the Erd Tree mostly. The inside's kind of cute there. But I'm a bit of a fan of the Monkey Ball games. I haven't played as many as most Monkey Ball fans, of course, but I remember playing the GameCube one, and I think I played the last one that came out, which was called Banana Mania, I think, right? Which I think was like a compilation of like a bunch of levels from other games. But I wanted to pick this one up. I didn't have time to play it, like I said, but I will be playing it this next week, most likely. If you've been following me on various platforms, you'll know that I bought a PSP recently, a PlayStation Portable, and I've been starting to collect games for it. Now, collect a loose term. I think it would be kind of easy to collect all the PSP games. I'm not like diving into that though. There are a couple games though that I have wanted, and there's a lot of these games are very budget friendly. If you're a collector of games and you're thinking of collecting a entire consoles collection. The PSP games, the most expensive one that I've seen so far is like $50 on eBay, and I think it's like a Final Fantasy or a Kingdom Hearts game. So they're not too bad, and I think that they will go up in price because they are a pretty unique disc feed functionality. But they're also it's a very unique system that's a bit older now. And you might be asking, Yemmy, why don't you just get a PS Vita? That still is available to go online, and you can still get games for that and stuff. I don't know. There's something about the PSP that just feels good to me. And I know that there's a lot of people who stand by the PS Vita, and I understand that. And maybe I'll get a Vita eventually. But there's one thing that the Vita doesn't have, and it's these cool little like UMD discs. These little tiny micro discs that are kind of the size of a GameCube disc, maybe even smaller than that. I just think that this is the coolest thing ever. I know it's a little bit loud in the system, but I think that's just the coolest thing ever. So the first game that I picked up this past week was Medieval Resurrection. Yes, I know this is available on the PlayStation Plus service, and you can buy it for like $10 on there. This one was $15, and it was in pretty good condition. I think I might actually pick up at least all of the major games on the PSP and maybe some smaller ones if I feel like it, right? I don't think there's anything too obscure in the PSP's library that I would say, oh, that's going to be like $300, right? Which is why I think that the PSP games are a good one to collect if you are a collector. I also got Medal of Honor Heroes. This one, the disc didn't look amazing, but it did have the manual in there, which Resurrection did not have. And also, I think the game disc looks a bit weird. I don't know if EA maybe just bought off-brand UMD discs, or they shipped them out of these off-brand ones. It's a little bit weird. I mean, it fits snugly into the case, so it's not like it doesn't fit or anything like that. But it's just so weird seeing this clear one in here and not having that white like barrier around it. I think it is because EA published this. They didn't want to spend the extra money to get the full UMD disc, so they kind of made up their own thing. I like World War II, learning about World War II history, World War II games, And I just said, I know I gotta get a medal, the Medal of Honor. There's a couple of Medal of Honor games on there. There's also a couple of Call of Duty games on there as well that I want to get. Last game for the PSP is Crazy Taxi Fairwares. This is, I mean, you know what Crazy Taxi is. You drive around the city as fast as you can, getting people to the places they want to be. Another complete in box that I got. It's nothing too special though, but I do like the look of the disc. I think the disc is kind of cool. It's got like the flame on there and the Crazy Taxi logo. Crazy Taxi is a great game. I loved playing this on the GameCube. There's of course multiple versions you can get across the board, and also there's a new Crazy Taxi game coming eventually from who publishes this? Sega. But I wanted to get the PSP game because I mean, what's more fun than Crazy Taxi on the go? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's fun. I don't know. And then lastly, for the pickups this week, I bought a PSP movie, one of those UMD video boxes, and I got Saw. So yeah, I thought that this would kind of be a funny thing to get because it's probably going to be like super compressed. The audio is going to be all compressed, and the video is going to be like 480p. I thought it would be kind of funny to get this, honestly, and it was only $6. Like, it's only $6. There's a couple other movies that they're advertising there. This is the only thing that I might not collect in the PSP era is all the movies, because it's like, why do I need PSP movies, right? I can play them in terms of like watch them, but I can't play them, right? What's the point of having a movie? But I just thought, I love Saw. I think Saw is a great movie. It's probably the best of the Saw franchise, and they're like 15 movies deep at this point. But I thought it'd be kind of a funny thing to have, put that on the shelf, be kind of fun to maybe watch down the road or something like that. All right, to start us off, the first game that arrived in the mail, I got this one on eBay, was Burnout Legends for the PSP. These sections are probably going to be kind of PSP heavy for a little while until I end up getting all the games that I've wanted. But Burnout Legends, this is one of 2 Burnout games that are on the system. This one was a nice complete in box. I thought it looked pretty good. I've not tried a racing game on the PSP yet, but I thought I might as well try out might as well try out a racing game, 1, but 2, might as well try out one of the best franchises for racing games out there. The next one is Daxter for the PSP. Now, I know this just came to the PlayStation services, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna be getting the major ones physically anyway for the PSP. I get it. There are a lot of PSP games that are being ported now, and Daxter was the latest one. But it was cheap enough, and I think the reason for that is because the housing for the disc doesn't have a top latch, so it's kind of just sitting in there. So I'm not gonna be able to I guess I could put this down and show you, but the inside looks pretty nice. It's got the handbook in there. When I'm looking at PSP games, I like, or any games in general, I like it when they are complete, in the box. And there is a little bit of damage on the disc here too. So obviously that took down the price a little bit, but it's not like the disc itself is good. It's just the outside of the disc that has a bit of a crack there. It should be fine. There should be no problem there. Probably someone almost stepped on it. Or maybe they stepped on the box. I don't know. But Daxter, this is the PSP Greatest Hits box, so it's not the original Black Label. I don't really care about that kind of thing. Next up is a game that I didn't know about until I was browsing the PSP game library. There was a list of all the PSP games, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And here we go. It's Lord of the Rings Tactics for the PSP, rated T for teen. I really don't know anything about this game. The back of the box looks like it's kind of like a grid-based system, almost like a Fire Emblem in a way, where you move your characters and stuff around. The inside of the box is nothing special. The disc looks kind of cool, and there's a manual, of course, with it, which I do enjoy having. I wanted to get this because 1, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and 2, I had never heard of this game before in my life. Maybe it was mentioned to me in a video or in a YouTube video or something like that, but I have no memory of ever hearing about this game. So Lord of the Rings Tactics I don't think it's anything like the Battle for Middle-earth series, which is unfortunate, but it could be kind of fun. Could be kind of fun, so I'll see how that is. And the last PSP game that I got this past week, this was a brand new sealed copy of the game, Loco Roco. I unwrapped it since then, so it's not like it's gonna remain unopened. But Loco Roco is a pretty goofy game series. The reason why I bought this brand new sealed was it was only $10, which sometimes makes me scratch my head a little bit. This one, though, I was looking online, and it's not really too popular of a game, so I wanted to get it before, I don't know, before something happens. I don't know. It was one of those things I was like, I kind of feel, I kind of feel like I need to get this before people realize that, you know, Loco Roco sealed is a good deal. I don't know. Well, these are all the new games that I got this past week. The 4 PSP games. So there's one game here that I wanted to just kind of show because we were playing it on stream, and that's Afro Samurai. I bought this on eBay for like $20-$30 or something like that last year, and I'll talk about the game obviously in a little bit, but I thought that, you know, it's a cool box. You know, it's got the manual and the disc in there. You know, it's a cool. I like the box itself. I think it's a nice looking box. Of course, I have to take off the GameStop sticker here. Obviously, I did not buy this at GameStop. But yeah, I just wanted to add this in there because I was talking about it. I have it. It's physically. I have it in my hand, so it'd be nice to show off something like this every so often, like when I play a game that I have physically like this. So. That is that. Let me know what you think of my pickups down below. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit PSP heavy for probably the foreseeable future at this point because, like I said last week, the games are pretty cheap, all things considered, and like on eBay, I'm pretty good at sniffing out good deals on eBay. We'll see if this latest one that I found is going to be a good one. I was kind of nervous. I got a copy of Jak and Daxter on the PSP. I forget what that one's called. A New Legacy or something like that. For $11 plus shipping. And usually that goes for about $40. So I'm hoping that the game is okay. It was a bidding situation and no one bid on the game. So I'm hoping that I got a steal, and a lot of times, you know, I do find a steal. I mean, this Loco Roco game, $10 for a sealed copy. Not too bad. So we'll see though. I don't know when that'll arrive, but it'll arrive eventually. All right, my game collecting addiction kind of got the best of me this week, so I picked up a bit more than I would personally have wanted to, but probably next week will be a little bit of a slower week. But you know, it happened. We're here. We're doing this now. Let's talk about the first game that I picked up, which was 007 Tomorrow Never Dies. So this game, I watch a channel called Mini-Me, spelled Mimme. And he was talking about this game, and I was like, oh, that's the game that Greedy Waffles and I used to play, right? And I don't know why I do this sometimes, but I saw the game in the video thumbnail, and I watched like 2 seconds of the video, and I went on eBay and I bought this for it was like $5. And I'm watching the video, I'm like, wait a second, that's not that's not the game we played. This one's a third-person shooter. It's actually I believe this game came out after GoldenEye, but before the next PS1 game, which is the one that we played. This one was I don't believe that this one is it. But the disc and everything was in good condition. There was also the manual in here, which I also like to see. Oh yeah, there's also. Behind the disc is just a bunch of fire. So the disc looked good. I thought that it was a pretty good deal. I mean, $5 plus shipping, not too bad. 007 Tomorrow Never Dies. Add that to my PS1 collection. So I went to Best Buy this past week and I picked up Cruisin' Blast. This game came out last year. The game is currently inside my Switch, so that's why it's not there right now. I've been playing it this past week, so I'll talk about it in the next section. But Cruisin' Blast, I've had my eye on this game since it released, and I was waiting for it to go down in price so that I didn't mind picking it up. It's $20 now base price, which I think is pretty good. I mean, sure, maybe 15 or 10 would be better, obviously, but $20 for this isn't too bad. It's got a good amount of content in it, and like I said, I'll talk about it in a little bit. Not much to really say about it now, though, and once again, like, the inside is just such a... I mean, comparing it to Tomorrow Never Dies, the inside of Tomorrow Never Dies, like, it's so sad to see this. Yeah, what just white for the people listening on in the Spotify version. Is the inside is just white. It's so sad to see. All right, we got some PSP games here. First one up, I talked about this game last week, and I didn't know if it was actually going to be in good condition or not because I got a really good deal on it. Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. I won this in a bid on eBay, and I was concerned whether it was going to actually be a good deal, and yes, it was. The disc is in perfect condition, minus like a smudge on the clear plastic. But this game was in perfect condition. I got it for way less than retail value, which is usually around $30 to $40. So I actually found a really good underground steal. No one even... I think only one person bid against me, and they tried to do a snipe, but I had set my price at a maximum of $25, and it only went up to $11.97. Can you fucking believe that for Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier? I forgot to say the name of the game earlier. I apologize about that. The game itself is in great condition. The manual's in here. The box is a little bit worse for wear for here and there, and also the cover art is a little bit worse for wear around the edges. But hey, this was one of the best deals that I found this year so far, and I'm happy about that. Also on the PSP, picked up a Wipeout Pure. So this is an interesting story. I was on DK Oldies, the website that sells, obviously, I don't even know what this is. There's like some sort of like something you mail in to PlayStation here, whatever. But anyway, I was on DK Oldies website, and they had a bunch of games that were kind of like on sale for the PSP. And I decided, I'll pick up one, see how it is. I know that DK Oldies has had some, some criticisms lobbied against them. I mean, fair criticisms as well. And I just, I was like, it's a great deal for this game. I don't think this game is like that crazy in general in terms of price. But, I thought I might as well give them a try. It was like $13 at the end of the day. That includes shipping. And I just kind of wanted the Wipeout game for the PSP, so I picked that up. The next PSP game, which is the last one that I'm going to show off, is game that I'm going to be talking about today. I actually picked this one up back when I first got the PSP, so it's a bit of like an update on the collection here. Me and My Katamari. This is, of course, a part of the Katamari series, if you didn't realize from the title. And this is the PSP game. The reason why I picked this one up is because I really enjoyed Katamari when I played it, Katamari Damacy when I played it, and I also played the remaster. This came with a poster of the island or islands that you can go to, along with the manual as well. It just kind of looks like the cover art there. But I had a pretty good time with it. I'll talk about it, of course, in a little bit. But yeah, I just thought I might as well show this one off since I'm going to be talking about today, and I probably won't have a reason to show it off in the future. All right, the next set of games. We got a bundle of 3 PS3 games here. First up is Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. I had heard of this game, and I believe it is on Steam, but they were selling it in a bundle for like $5, and I said, why not on this one? The thing about these 3 games that I got are they smelled like cigar smoke, and I have been airing them out. I've been leaving them kind of like sitting open on my counter over there, table over there, to air them out. And this game doesn't smell bad anymore, but there is a bit of a puncture on the case there, so I'll probably have to get a different case for this one. Maybe, I mean, if I want to. This other one, though, is in perfect condition, smells fine. This was the least smelly of all the PS3 games in the lot. And I had actually bought this one along with the other two games, and the other one I haven't shown off yet for a reason that I'll get to. I wanted to have a game that I could be like, oh, I'll just switch out the case, if the case doesn't look good. That's NHL 11. The other reason why I bought this one is because the facial expression that this guy is making is just fucking hilarious. I love that so much. But I bought it because it's like, well, if I need a case, I have a case, right? But both of the games that I got along with this one were in worse condition than I thought they were. Not my best pickup on eBay, that's for sure. And that is about to be shown right here with Wheelman, which I thought in the picture that this disgusting yellowing was because someone left it out in the sun for too long. No, this thing reeks of cigar smoke. It is, if you open this up, it just emanates from inside, which is a shame. I got a really good deal on it, $10. I believe this game goes for about 20 or more, especially the Xbox 360 version. But if you don't know, this is the Vin Diesel game where you can like jump between cars and whatnot. I thought it'd be kind of fun to play on stream. I have ordered a pack of replacement cases, so this will definitely be one of the cases that gets swapped out. And even then, the manual smells terrible in this one. I am so disappointed, and I should have known from the look of the case in the person's pictures that it was going to be a bad one, but I thought that I honestly thought it was just sun fading, but it actually is just so, I don't know, smoky. I don't know. I left the positive feedback anyway, but I made sure to mention like, hey, this thing was cigar smoked up. Like it smells, it smells terrible. Like it actually smells terrible. If you like cigars, whatever. I don't care if you like cigars, but I personally am not a smoker. So, but the other two games were fine, all things considered. So at least it was only one out of the three that I really need to replace, and I could replace the one for Star Wars. Republic Heroes if I want to, but I don't think I will. But all right, first up for the what I've picked up section, we have the Nintendo World Championship NES edition, and I got the deluxe edition myself. I believe this was the only edition that was physical. But the nice thing about this edition is that one, it comes with a bunch of cool stuff, and two, it wasn't really that pricey. So I said, why not? So this is actually two pieces. So we have the stand for the golden NES cartridge that has the name of the game on it. And here's the golden NES cartridge. I thought this was pretty cool. I mean, obviously it doesn't really work, but I thought it was kind of cool. It's got the logo, or like a symbol for each of the games on the back. So I'll talk about the game more in the next section. But I thought that was kind of cool. I know some people are like, oh, I'm so annoyed with all these special editions coming with freaking cartridges or useless cartridges. I mean, it's kind of cool. And it also includes a sleeve that you would see for a NES cartridge as well. Let's go ahead and pull out the game if I can. Yeah, there we go. So the game, looks exactly the same as the collector's edition box, just a little bit less stuff on the back there. The game is in my console, so it's not in there, but there's pins that you earn in the game, and that's one pin from each game, so that's kind of cool. Also in the box, let's see, what's this one? So it also came with a bunch of like these little cards. Each one kind of has a different game on it from the collection here. On the front is just the what they look like. On the back, they have the actual like the characters and something from the game. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, am I gonna do anything with these? Probably not, but at least it was kind of cool. I have to fix something here. I messed up a little bit opening this. And finally, inside the box here, we have probably I guess it's one of the nicest things in here. Even though the gold NES cartridge is pretty cool. but they gave you a couple pins from the game, like actual enamel pins. So I thought that was pretty cool too. They're pretty nice quality. Once again, I don't know, like, will I ever use these? I guess if I go to PAX again, I can put them on my lanyard, or at least one of them on the lanyard. But yeah, I think that this was a pretty cool purchase. I think that it's definitely worth the price. And I will talk about the game in the next section. All right, if you don't know, there was, this stack is absolutely massive. There was the Amazon Prime Day. There was a Woot overstock sale. And it was Best Buy's Black Friday in July event. So I have a lot of games from that to show off. After today, the gaming buying will be a little bit lessened, obviously. So don't expect this section to be quite as large. This was just a very big week. And I did overspend a little bit. But to be fair, it was all some pretty good deals, which I'll talk about. But first up, let's talk about EA Sports College Football 25. Picked that up physically. I want to call it NCAA, but, they won't let you do that. The inside is pretty bland. The disc is in my console. I have Stellar Blade in there right now because I'm kind of switching between the two. The back is also not like too fun, but the front looks pretty good. I do like that. Once again, I'll talk about this in the next section. We have one eBay purchase this week. That was Enemy Front. So the reason why I bought this edition is because it's the deluxe edition. It comes with the soundtrack, and it was only $5 on eBay. So I said, why not? I also don't really know how well this game would play on a modern PC, so I wanted to get the PS3 version of the game. The case is a little bit cracked, and unfortunately, I don't have a double disc version of a empty case, so I'll just have to live with it for now. But this one was more so like me. Like I've gone through a little bit of a phase here trying to rebuild my my library of games because I sold a lot when I was younger. So I'm trying to get back some of those games that that I had that aren't that pricey. So Enemy Front was an easy purchase, $5 plus shipping. Next up, I wanted to get this game physically because I love this series. It's Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin. This is the PSVR game that came out, and it also includes a code for the original Psychonauts, the like PS4, Xbox One version. And if you've never played this game, you essentially are you kind of like jump into a person's mind and you do puzzles in there as Raz. But I saw that this was physical on Amazon. I apologize, on Amazon, and it was on sale for like once again $5. So I said, why not? It's still wrapped. It's a little bit torn there, but that's fine. I will definitely be opening this sooner rather than later because I have not played the VR game. And of course, I have been waiting to purchase this for quite some time, and I really loved this game when it came out. I believe it was number 2 that year. That's Psychonauts 2. I was waiting to purchase this one. There's a sticker on the front here, but it's nothing really. But I've been waiting to buy this for quite some time. It was on sale for like $10 on Amazon for the Prime Day sales. I love this game. I think it's really good. I think it's a little bit better than the original game, but the original game does have a lot of charm to it, of course. It's got like a kind of like a holographic kind of cover too, which is kind of cool too. So definitely wanted to pick this up. And I've been waiting to pick it up because I already played it on Xbox Game Pass, but I want to, of course, buy it physically. Next up is the Best Buy Black Friday and July games. So I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection for the PS5. I've been waiting to pick this one up as well. I thought it was a bit, obviously it's a bit pricey when you just buy it brand new. but the price went down to about 20 bucks, which I said, that's probably going to be the best they can get. It's still sealed, so we can't really open and show you anything, but yeah, I'm excited to try this out at least. I have these a little bit out of order. Then the other Best Buy Black Friday and July game was the PS4 version of Resident Evil 5. This is another one that I just was rebuilding the the games that I had sold back in the day, and this is actually like one of, if not my favorite Resident Evil game. The co-op stuff is just so much fun, and I really enjoyed going through this. I got the platinum on this game like twice because I went through it twice with two separate friends, but I had a really good time with it. The disc is, of course, loose in the case. I hate it when that happens, so I'll try and not have to open that to fix it, but I'm not good at it. You gotta like really finesse it. Yeah, I can't. But yeah, Resident Evil 5 on the PS4. Just an easy pickup for me. Like, I really enjoyed this game, and I was pretty sad when I looked at my collection. I was like, why don't I have Resident Evil 5 in here? Like, come on. All right, if you don't know what Woot is, it's like a Amazon subsidiary or whatever. They sell like the overstock games. So they had a huge sale like the day or so before Amazon Prime Day. So I got all three of these games for less than $20 each. Actually, I think there's only one game that was 20. The rest were 5 or 10. So the first one I got was South Park Snow Day. Once again, I've been waiting to pick this one up because it didn't look that great in my opinion, but I'll pick it up for 20 bucks. I think that is a pretty fair price, asking price for this little roguelite kind of game. And it's got like some mixed reviews, of course, but I'll see for myself. I'll probably pop this in after the gaming schedule becomes a little bit less hectic because we got a lot to talk about this week. This was the $5 game, another loose one. The disc inside is loose, and I hate that so much. But I got JoJo's... what the fuck is it even called? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. And you might be wondering, Yemmy, do you even like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? No, I've never seen a single episode of the anime. But this was $5. You got free shipping if you went over a certain price. And I said, okay, I might as well pick something up that's cheap because I don't want to have to pay an extra like $20 for free shipping. I just want to pay an extra $5. So there you go. I got the free shipping there with that. And then the other one here is called Gangs of Sherwood on the PS5. This was one that caught my eye a while ago. It's like a top-down brawler type game, and I forgot about it. 1 and 2, I thought that the asking price of like $40 for this game was a bit much in my opinion, but $10, not too bad. Of course, like I said, it was like an overstock kind of thing, so it's one of those. It was a good deal for a game that I'll probably just add to my backlog and play on stream or something like that. And I actually I have one more eBay game. I bought a physical version of Abzu. I've actually been wanting to buy a physical version of Abzu for quite some time. This is like one of my favorite games of all time, right next to like the greats up there. I love the vibes. I love the ambiance. I really like the style. The only thing that kind of irked me was like walking on land, but that happens so rarely, But I felt like, I should get a physical version of this just in case, because I do have a digital version, but I wanted to get a physical version just in case something happens. You never know. And then here are two games that we played on stream that I have physical versions of. The first one, we played Star Wars Racer, but I have the combo pack for both Star Wars Racer and Republic Commando. Not really too much to see on the inside either, but I picked this up a while ago, and I believe it was sealed. I had to open it, so that was a pretty good purchase by me because I think it was only like $15 or something like that when I picked it up. Pretty good combo pack. Two really good games. And then... and then we played Syndicate this past week. The only reason that I would ever say like, hey, that's a game, is I like the cover artwork for this one. I like the vibe of it. There is a code in here, but it's probably expired, and if you really want it, you can have it. Yeah, I'll talk about Syndicate as well in the next section, but as for now, I think that the cover is pretty cool. I wish that the font was blue, but that's just me. And probably Callus, too. All right, that's my stack. But there's still one more thing that I need to show off. I went ahead and got a Rift Master guitar, which, you know, I guess I should have taken a cleaning cloth to it here because there's a lot of fingerprints on it. They did they did that like matte finish or whatever you want to call it, so like all your thumbprints and stuff show up on it. Hey, look, you can see me inside of the guitar. But I actually am really enjoying this guitar. It feels a lot like the Rock Band 2 or Rock Band 3 guitars, which is I think Rock Band 2 had like the best guitars in terms of Rock Band games. Guitar Hero controllers are very clicky, but these have a very soft push to them. Same thing with the strum bar. It's much more like Rock Band 4, where it's kind of muted, I guess you could say. And that did cause some issues back in the day with those Rock Band 4 guitars. They would lose their like softness, and then they would start over strumming or under strumming, like not strumming at all. So that is a bit of a concern for me with this, but hopefully they did it better this time around. There's also, of course, a whammy bar on it. And if you didn't know, and I didn't know this, there's actually a joystick on the back of the neck of the guitar, which is kind of cool. And it's also collapsible. You can collapse it as well. I've been using this with Clone Hero, and I should probably maybe clip this and put it on the channel as a separate thing. But the setup for Clone Hero was a bit weird. Essentially, I had to add Clone Hero as a game to my Steam account, and then I had to enable like the Steam, what's it called? Like the Steam controller mapping or something like that. And then I had to also download the Xbox mapping as well. And then everything started working except for the whammy bar. The whammy bar, and also you can't tilt the guitar to do star power in Clone Hero. It all works pretty well in the Fortnite Festival mode, which I have played like a song. Seems to work pretty good for that. But if you're playing on Clone Hero, you have to like press, you have to like wiggle the backward the joystick on the back here in order to do whammy, and then you also have to push up on it to do star power. So it's not too bad. I'm trying to, I guess, show. If you're on the lower part of the guitar, you can wiggle this around pretty easily. As you get up to the farther things, you do have to reach a little bit more. So I usually activate my star power when I'm using like the green and red and yellow buttons. Seems to work okay. But I am happy about the purchase. I think it works pretty well. I mean, I've been using a Guitar Hero Explorer guitar for quite some time, and it does have the little buttons on the bottom as well. But this has actually been a really nice upgrade. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck to set up here and there, but for the most part, I'm really enjoying how it feels, and I'm getting back into it. I haven't played Clone Hero in quite some time, so I gotta readjust my fingers, of course, but yeah, I've been having a good time with it. So if you're looking to check it out, it's not a bad purchase. It just takes a little bit of extra work for Clone Hero. And if you are planning on using it for Fortnite Festival, it just kind of works. There's a little USB dongle it comes with. You plug it into your computer, you sync it to that dongle, it's good to go. Xbox, kind of the same thing. You just kind of sync it to your Xbox, and it's good to go. But yeah, nothing else to say there. Pretty nice. I accidentally said weeks. I'm not going to go back and fix it. Whatever. So this week, as I said before, it's a bit shorter. I'm sorry, it's a bit smaller in terms of game pickups, and I just wanted to emphasize, like, last week was an anomaly. I don't usually get that many games in general. Usually, I would say throughout most of the months, or through the weeks, I usually only pick up like 1 or 2 games at most. Last week was just crazy. It was just crazy. Lots of sales, lots of stuff going on. So this week is a little bit shorter. I just said shorter again. This week is a bit smaller. And let's start off with my first pickup, which was Homefront on the PS3. I decided to pick this up because it was only $3 at my local used store. And I didn't think that the game was going to run too well on a modern PC on Steam. It does have the manual in there. And, this is one of those games that had like had like a pass for obtaining online. You can go you can only go online with a multiplayer pass. Yeah. Yeah, there's a freaking code inside here for freaking multiplayer. That was a trend during the early, well, maybe not even early, sometime during the PS3 era. A bunch of games thought it would be funny to add in a cost for accessing multiplayer. One of those games was Homefront, and more, one that more affected me personally was Mass Effect 3. I actually had to buy that twice because uh, my account got hacked, so I lost my access to the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. But that's Homefront. I think that in general, like, the cover is actually pretty good on this game. I don't actually remember really much about it other than that it was a pretty basic first-person shooter, but, I just wanted to pick it back up and add it back to my collection. As I mentioned last week, you'll probably be seeing this a couple times where I just pick up a random, like, couple $1 game that used to be in my collection. During the PS3 and PS4 era, I would sell a lot of games, and later in the PS4 era, I stopped doing that when I had a stable job. But I always kind of regret, or I have regretted, getting rid of some of these games, especially this next one, which is PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. This one was a staple of my PS3 library. The only reason I got rid of it, or I sold it, was because for a time it did go up in price, and so I sold it back in the day. I picked it up for $6 this past week. And if you don't know what this game is, this was this was Sony's answer to your Smash Brothers kind of games. It was a hero brawler. It included a good selection of PlayStation characters. Some of these characters we didn't ever see them again after this game, so it's a bit of a point in history. Look at that. This is also one that came with an online activation pass. Pretty cool. The one thing that actually was cool, no joke, about this was you got the Vita version for free if you owned the PS3 copy. So that's kind of cool. That is kind of cool, but I wanted to pick this back up. It's a goofy one. Is it like the best game ever? Obviously not. But once again, it was a part of my collection back in the day. I just wanted to pick it back up. Now, of course, there are some games from my old collection that I probably won't get back, like Africa on the PS3. That game is like $100-something, and I kick myself every day for selling that. Also, I used to own Godzilla, the video game from 2014, and that is also a giant money sink nowadays. So once again, I do have my regrets in life, and selling those two games, which are now worth hundreds of dollars, are kind of one of those regrets, or two of those regrets. All right, let's move on to games that I did not own back in the day. This is Katamari Forever. So the story behind this is I was like, I'm not going to be getting any more games this week. I've spent too much money last week, and now this week I already bought a couple games. Well, eBay... Look, I like my eBay, okay? I know that it is a bit iffy sometimes, but eBay has been really good to me. This was being sold by a very small eBay user. I was going to say channel, but it's a user. And it was a bidding war. They did not do a buy it now option, and buying it now would have been like a $30 to $40 game. I did a bid. There was one other person bidding on it early on, but they didn't get back to it. I won this for $12.50, which is well below market price. It came in perfect condition. It has the manual, the disc. It's all good. I'm very happy to say that I got a good deal on this one. This game was the last one I needed for the console games in the Katamari series. I just need to get the one that was on the PlayStation Vita, which I don't even have a Vita, so it's not like a high priority for me. But just saying, like, this was one of the last ones that I needed to get before that, because I already do own beautiful Katamari. Here's a silly one that I picked up last week, but it didn't arrive till this week. This wasn't on... it was on sale, but it wasn't a part of, like, the big sale things. I saw this, and I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Well, okay, That's a little bit harsh. It is pretty dumb though. Mozart Requiem. I don't know what the fuck this is. The game came and the disc was loose, so I had to open it up, of course. But I don't know what this is. It seems like a point and click kind of game. It definitely looks like it's a bit of a bargain bin kind of game. But Mozart Requiem, I thought that this was kind of funny, and I wanted to add this to my collection because that is such a funny fucking game. It's only $10 on Amazon. It was on sale, usual price, 20. And then finally for the new games this week, I picked up a game called 007 Everything or Nothing. And I had actually forgotten that this game existed. I thought that I had all of the PS2 era James Bond games, but this one was on my Amazon wish list that I made like years ago. And so I was like, oh, shoot, I don't have that one. So I went ahead and I went on eBay and bought it. It was another. Actually, no. I went to my local shop and bought it for $14. I didn't go to Amazon. But this one I never played. This one I never had this one. So this is a new pickup, technically, even though it's a PS2 game. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm interested to play this one. This one came out after Nightfire. So who knows? It might be worse. It might be better. Actually, it probably won't be better. Nightfire is an excellent game. And then finally, I just wanted to show this one off because we're going to be playing it on Monday on the Twitch stream. I actually bought the Metal Slug Anthology a while back. It was at PAX East a couple years ago now. And Limited Run, of course, has a booth there, and they were selling overstocked items. And what do you know? This was the last copy of Metal Slug that they had on their shelf there. So I decided to pick it up because I'm a huge fan of Metal Slug. I love Metal Slug. Metal Slug was actually, if you don't know, I was gonna show if there was anything in the background. No, there's nothing in the background. If you don't know, Metal Slug was actually, I think it was the first video game that I ever played. Was the original Metal Slug, and after that, I loved video gaming. I got a Game Boy Color and an N64 eventually down the road, and this was the start of it all. Was Metal Slug, and this is number 364 from Limited Run Games for the PS4. It's pretty cool. I usually don't like buying things from like Limited Run or Super Rare because it takes so long for them to actually get the games to you. Recently, though, I have bought a couple of them, or pre-ordered a couple of them, because of the fact that like I'm not like too worried about playing them right away. That being Lollipop Chainsaw and Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. But when you go to their booth at a place, they will just have a bunch of overstocked games that they save for the conventions. So that's where I got this, and I'll probably show it off eventually down the road. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was also there at the same time. But the Metal Slug Anthology, I thought I got to pick this up because this was one of my favorite series ever. And yeah, I'm excited to play that on Monday. So there you go. Start things off. One, I'm a bit tired because I didn't sleep well last night. But two, there was a sale going on Amazon. It was like it was a weird name for it. It was like a buyout or whatever. I guess another one of those ones where it's like, oh, we have too many of these in stock. We need to sell them, so we're gonna put them on sale. So one of the games that I bought was called The Invincible. This is a PS5, the PS5 version. I like the cover artwork for it. People have said that it's a pretty decent game. It seems pretty linear, which I'm not like, I'm not going to complain about. I'll probably play this for like an October stream or something like that because it does look maybe a bit spooky. So The Invincible, it's still in its plastic wrap. I'll probably open it up eventually. Also, I picked up Pacific Drive, a physical version of Pacific Drive. Now, this game came out a couple months ago, and I've been really interested in picking it up, but I wanted a physical version, and the deluxe edition was the same price as like the regular edition, which is, I mean, kind of cool. I don't really want to take it out of its packaging because I was having trouble with that. They have one of these stupid sleeves over it, and I just was having a hell of a time getting it back on when I last opened it up. And I don't want to take it off fully, but the game's in there, and there's also like a travel guide, which is actually kind of cool. You can write down your progress and stuff like that, keep track of your progress on with this little guide there. There's also a couple postcards in there. It's not too crazy. But I wanted to get this physically because it seemed like a cool game, and I'll probably be trying it out this weekend. If not this weekend, this week. So there you go. Cool. I also like the box art. I think the box art for the deluxe edition is pretty nice. Next up, you know me. I'm a eBay deal hunter, and I got 2 games here that were pretty good deals on eBay. One of them was called Valfaris. This was a bidding war, quote unquote, but no one bid on it, so I got it for $10 plus shipping. Brand new sealed in box. Love that. I think it's like a side scroller shooter or something like that, but the box art looks cool, and I mean the game concept seemed kind of cool. And then also probably the best deal that I got this week was Astrobot Rescue Mission. This is the PSVR game for the original PlayStation, and this was a sealed copy as well. I had to open it because the disc was loose. I hate it when that happens. But this one was, I believe, a bundle because it says not for resale on the side. So I believe this was in the PlayStation VR 1 bundle. So that's pretty cool to have this. This game sells for about $30 to $40 brand new. I got this for $12.50 plus shipping because it was a bidding war that no one bid on. Like, absolutely no one bid on. So I found this one pretty nice for a cheaper price. And I do expect to start streaming PlayStation VR original games. I have a lot of them, and I think it would be fun to go back to that because I actually started my original streaming career on YouTube. I started playing VR games, so it'd be nice to go back to that at some point. Here are 2 games that, well, one game I used to have, the other game is new, but I wanted to pick this up because it has a copy of a game on it that you can't get outside of this collection anymore, and that is Medal of Honor, the reboot. It includes Medal of Honor Frontline Remastered. It's actually a remastered version of Medal of Honor Frontline. Now, I have played the original version of Frontline on the channel before, on the Twitch streams before, and I really love that game. It's probably my favorite of the Medal of Honor games. And the remastered version isn't too bad. I remember it. It has some improved visuals and stuff like that. So the only way to get that nowadays, at least physically, is with the Medal of Honor case, the actual Medal of Honor reboot box for the PlayStation 3, and I think Xbox 360 also had it. I think that you put the disc in and it like downloads separately. Yeah, I thought that was a great pickup. I also used to have this game, so if you're a person who follows me in the backlog golf contest, you'll notice that my score doesn't really change too much. 1, I don't update my stuff right away, but 2, I also you don't get points for picking up games that you already owned, and I already own this one. And I also usually beat games, and then I buy a game. So every game that I beat, I pretty much buy a game at this point. So it's kind of like a stagnant number. Also picked up Arctic Thunder. I thought this one seemed kind of goofy. It's a snowmobile racing game with like weapons, kind of like a hardcore Mario Kart. The reason I got this was just it seemed pretty goofy. Also, I got this on eBay. It was a bit cheaper than buying it in the store at the place I go for used stuff. It is complete in box. It's a pretty nice copy. It's got a little bit of wear and tear at the top here, but I think it's a pretty nice copy. I'll probably be playing this one sooner rather than later. It seems pretty cool. I like the idea of this one. And then finally, for what I need to show off today, or want to show off today, I'll talk about this game in a little bit. But we played Shark Tale on stream, Shark Tale on the PS2, and I just wanted to show off that I had this game because it's one of those ones that I'll talk about it. It's a bit goofy, but I have it complete in box, which I do like. But we have Shark Tale, starring knockoff Will Smith and knockoff Jack Black. Said I still could at least buy video games while I was out of power. I only bought technically 3 of these games I bought on like eBay before the power went out. 2 of these games, though, which are pretty obvious, I bought while the power was off, and we were just kind of like bored. So the first game that I got off of eBay was the Assassin's Creed Chronicles Collection. The reason why I picked this up, one, it's sealed, which is really nice, and two, these games were digital only for quite some time, and I did not know that there was a physical version of the game available, and I felt like this was a pretty good idea to grab up, especially because I have most of the other Assassin's Creed games physically, anyways. It was only like $17 plus shipping, so it wasn't that bad at all. But like I said, I thought that it would be a nice thing to have just in case down the road for whatever reason these become unavailable. Now I have a physical version, so I never have to worry about that. Also, I liked the first one. I've only played the first one, Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good spin on the Assassin's Creed series. So there you go. The next one here is a bit of a meme. Once again, this is a game that I had in my collection, and then, I sold it. That's Lost Via Domus. It's a video game here. I had this on Xbox 360, so I did not have the PS3 version. But I thought, because I'm more of a PS3 collector, I thought I might as well pick it up on PS3 instead. Yeah, I had this on the Xbox 360. I don't believe there's trophies on the PlayStation version, but the Xbox 360 had a group of like really easy achievements. So this was actually next to the Peter Jackson's King Kong game. This was one of the first games that I ever 100%ed, Lost Via Domus. But I wanted to get this back in my collection. One, because back in the day I was big into Lost. But the other reason is because, it's kind of funny to have this game in your collection. And then finally, for the games that I bought on eBay this past week, I got Power Gig Rise of the Sixth String. So if you don't know, this is a rhythm game, of course, where they actually sold a like almost real guitar along with it. Because kind of like the Rock Band 3 Pro mode, where you could actually use like a 6-string guitar to play songs. Kind of rudimentary, but you could play them. This actually came with a 6-string guitar. I'm pretty sure this came in a box with something else because it says not for resale at the bottom. But essentially, you can still use a regular guitar to play it, like a Guitar Hero 3 guitar, The perspective's a little bit different, but it actually, unlike Rock Revolution and a couple of those other, throwaway games, this one actually has real songs that are the original recordings, which is why I wanted to try it out. We got a Bad Religion on here, Black Label Society, Black Sabbath, Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed, Eric Clapton, Godsmack, Incubus, Jane's Addiction, Kid Rock, oh boy, Korn, and Lucina Coil, Mastodon, stuff like that. So lots of cool cool bands on there. Also, apparently, Eric Clapton, Kid Rock, and the Dave Matthews Band, newly Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Dave Matthews Band, exclusive artists to this game. So I'll probably play it when I have the Xbox 360 out and I'm playing a different game for like stream or something like that. But I thought, it was only like $2 on eBay. Obviously, the game case isn't in the best condition, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as the game itself runs, I don't really mind. But yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. You can buy it for $2 on eBay, so I just decided to pick it up. And then I bought 2 games from a place called Half Price Books, and I still have the sticker on for these. I need to get those off. But the first one is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars for the PSP. This is the Greatest Hits edition. And they were selling it for $20, which is about the same price as you can get online. They obviously know what they have when a game gets sold to them, because yeah, it wasn't like too crazy. I wasn't a huge fan of how the disc looked when I picked it up, but I just wanted to put this into my collection because it's a pretty infamous one. And then, speaking of infamous games, I picked Condemned 2 Bloodshot up at Half Price Books as well. And apparently they originally bought it at my other store that I usually buy games from. But Condemned 2 Bloodshot, when I was in the store, it doesn't have a manual, unfortunately. When I was in the store, I looked on eBay, and this was selling for like $30 to $40. I got home, and I looked at eBay, and Actually, it was selling for about 15. So I got a little bit of a cheapo with $10, but I think I might have jumped the gun on this one a little bit. But that being said, maybe kind of a cool game. Maybe we'll stream that in the future for Halloween or something like that. There you go. Segue? Probably not. First things first. I picked up Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection, Volume 1. Don't ask me why, because I technically already have the entire series on PS3. There's like a PS3 collection that had every single game in the series, pretty much. But I don't know. It was $20, and I don't think it's gonna go below $20 ever. So I just decided to pick it up on Switch. Also, I don't know why I picked it up on Switch. That's the other thing too. But yeah, there it is. Picked it up. Maybe we'll play one of the games off of here. But once again, I have a PS3 version of this that has like 1 through Guns of the Patriots, which is what, 5? No, 4. 5 is Phantom. Phantom. Anyway, doesn't matter. I have this, and I shouldn't have bought it, but I did. Which is the story of my life, really. Also, since we've been playing it this past week, I have Secret Agent Clank on the PS2. I've had this one for a little while. I bought it in a combo pack on eBay with Size Matters, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. The game is in my PS2 right now, but it did come fully loaded with the manual and stuff like that. So this was a PSP game that was ported over to the PS2 in the PS2 era. And it's about as good as you expect it to be, which is not that great. But I'll talk about that more next week after we finish it. But this actually came sealed. And I was very surprised. I got both Size Matters and this game sealed. And the weird thing about this is it says not for resale. So I'm not sure what that's all about. But hey, there you go. Secret Agent Clank. Also, another game that we played this past week, which we'll talk about in this episode, is Battleship on the PS3. And I'll talk about this more in the next section, of course. But I have this complete in box for the PS3. Pretty goofy game. I'll talk about it more in a minute. Next up was a pickup that I wanted to get because this was actually the first Xbox 360 game I ever got. And of course, here we are with the PS3 version of Pure, which this came in a combo pack with Lego Batman, the original Lego Batman on the Xbox 360, and those are the first 2 games I had. But this was the first one I played. Someone wrote on it here, so I gotta get a different box for it. But if you don't know what this is, it's like an ATV racing game. I never put a lot of time into it, but I thought, it's only $5. Might as well pick it up and put it on my shelf because, like I said, there's a little bit of nostalgia for this because it was the first Xbox 360 game that I had. But the nostalgia kind of wears thin when I realized I didn't really play it too much. And then Best Buy had a sale. Now, Best Buy's been doing like a $10 game a day type thing. And I haven't really found anything that I've wanted for $10, but Best Buy did have a sale for overstocked items, and I got Saints Row the Third Remastered. I had never picked this up because why would I? I already played the original game, but it was only $10 on Best Buy's website, free shipping. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna grab that. Still in wrapping, of course, and the disc isn't out of case, which is great. I enjoyed this game back when I played it. I played it with these. You could actually choose to be a zombie in the game. So all the dialogue would just be zombie noises, which I thought was hilarious back in the day. Probably nowadays I'd think it was kind of annoying, but I wanted to pick that up. Maybe we'll play it in the future. And then this is actually a big reveal because I did not say that I was going to get this game. And I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise. I wanted to make sure that no one else bought it because I was buying it because I wanted to make sure that it was good first. But I did pick up Madden NFL 25 or EA Sports Madden NFL 25. Pretty bare bones case. The disc is in my PlayStation right now, of course. But I picked this up this past week. I've been playing it, and we'll talk about it in the next section right now. All right, we're going to start off with a game that I've had for a little bit. I actually got this game kind of right before I started doing the pickup stuff. So I did say that, on weeks that I have a little bit less or maybe nothing at all. I'm going to start going through some of my older things, and we have Sonic Heroes there. There's a sticker over Knuckles, which is unfortunate, kind of like Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. I picked this one up because obviously it's a classic game in the Sonic series, but it was also complete in box, which I love to see, and it was pretty cheap, only about $25. I'm interested in finally playing this one. Seems pretty good. I got 2 games on sale from a website that what was it called, like V something, or I don't remember exactly what it's called, but there were 2 games that I've been waiting to get for quite some time, because the first game, Man of Medan, I didn't really like, but I was like, okay, whatever. But these 2 games were only $10 a piece, and I've been waiting to pick these up. So we have The Devil in Me, which also is a free PS5 upgrade. So even though I have the PS4 version, it's a free PS5 upgrade. So that's new in box. And then I also got the House of Ashes, which is the other game in the series, which I believe is set in like Afghanistan or something like that. This is also new in box, and this one's the PS5 version. It was the same price as the PS4, so I just decided to get the PS5 version. So I'll probably be playing at least one of those for Halloween this year. And then also I talked about this this Buzz series last week, but I did get Buzz Quiz World, which is the last of the Buzz series, unfortunately. This one was also complete in box and was only like $5. And you know why? It's because you have to have these buzzer controllers to play the game. And you might be asking me, Yemmy, do you have any of those? And I will tell you this right now. I got an incredible deal for you folks. Let me get this. I got the original Buzz Quiz TV game on the PS3 with 4 Buzz controllers. If you're wondering how much I got this for, I believe it was like $14. $14. This usually sells for like $30. And I got it for $14. It's in great condition. The outer box is a bit rough, but the inner box is pretty good. All the controllers seem to work pretty well as well. Oh boy, I don't want to drop anything. Hold on. So we got the game itself, Buzz Quiz TV, complete in box. Looks pretty good. And then we also got 4 controllers with the wireless dongle as well. So essentially what you do is you buzz in and then you pick your answer. And whoever does it fast wins. And these do take, I think, AA batteries. Yeah, AA batteries. Looks like I'll need to clean in there. Looks like someone left the batteries in them for a little bit too long before they took them out. But that should be no issue. But I was looking for just controllers for quite a while, and then I saw this this auction for this entire set, and I was like, no one's bidding on this. Obviously, this is a very niche thing to want, but no one was bidding on it. It was a brand new seller. I literally stole this from them. I'm not even kidding. Like, I literally stole this from them for $14.50 or whatever, plus shipping. So it turned out to be like $25 in total. This is a great steal, and I don't know how I do it sometimes. I'm just a little bit lucky, I guess. I know usually I do the direct stuff first, or the showcase stuff first. This is going to take like 5 seconds, so it's not even going to be that bad. Anyway, Star Wars Outlaws came out this week. I bought it physically. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so, I had to get it in there. Oh, yeah. This code, I already used it, so don't even try. I like the cover art for this. I'm not too far into it, but I will talk about it in the future segment. Also, on stream, we played We Love Katamari Reroll and Royal Reviere. It's a very good game. I will also be talking about this in the future segment. I did kind of wish that there was something fun inside there, but oh well. As for games that I picked up, actually picked up, I picked up Transformers the game. This is one that Greedy Waffles and I played on the PS2 back in the day. I know it's based off of the movie. This one has like the bonus disc inside of it for, I don't know, bonus material. I have no clue. but that'll probably be streamed sometime in the future. And then finally, I picked up a physical copy of Crazy Taxi on the PS2. I noticed that I did not have the game yet, and it was only like $10 on eBay, so I said, why not? It's in perfect condition, and some people would say, "Oh, that box art is disgusting." I mean, I don't mind this at all. It's simple. It gets the point across. It's a Crazy Taxi. I think most people who play this game already know what Crazy Taxi is anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, that's my pickups this week. Well, I didn't pick up too much this week. This is going to be a very quick part of the show. We have the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. The only reason I'm showing this is because we played the first game on the disc on stream, and even though I've played through the series a couple times, I have the Platinum Trophy on all the games. I wanted to give it a replay because it's been a little while, and I'll talk about the first Uncharted in a little bit. Secondly is the game that you all know was going to be here, and that is Astro Bot. Picked up Astro Bot. On the inside here is this really cute, this really cute like comic book type thing that actually teaches you how to play the game. It's almost like a manual, but that's really cute. I really like that, and it does come with some goodies, which I did already redeem. But it comes with some goodies here, like an outfit and stuff for your character. On the inside, the disc is obviously in my console. I think that this little like mosaic of the various characters is pretty fun too. All right, I'm going to go through my stack of games before I get to the other things that I have picked up this week. First up is Shadow of the Damned Remastered Edition, whatever it's called. Hello Remastered. Hello Remastered. This came from Limited Run Games. I ordered this a while ago, as you usually do. I had to open the case because the disc was loose, which is kind of annoying because I wanted to keep it wrapped up until I wanted to play it, which is probably going to be next year for Halloween. I've been waiting to pick this one up. It's World of Goo 2. This is the physical edition. They released this through a third-party distributor, but it came to Best Buy. I haven't really read through any of the stuff in there. This one I did keep sealed, but I am planning on opening this one because I was excited to try it out, play around with it, because I did like World of Goo 1. Super Mario Jamboree. We picked this up this past week. The game is in my hold on, I gotta take this code out of here. Is in my Switch. But the inside is nice there. Really enjoy that. Like that. I'm still playing the game. It came with a 3-month free subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. So if that could be an incentive for you if you want to check this out. I talked a little bit about it a couple of episodes ago, maybe an episode or two ago. So if you want to check out any thoughts about that, that'll be then. I'll probably talk about this more after I finish it, which I'm getting there. This is a game we streamed this past month that I have a physical copy of. That's Bayonetta 3. I probably already showed this one off in a different video, but yeah, Bayonetta 3. I already talked about it in a podcast episode a couple episodes ago, so I'm not gonna talk about it again here. This one that I have is a movie that we watched recently on Film Freaks, my other podcast that I do about movies. And the movie was called Reign of Fire, and there was actually a video game released about it. I did not buy it for $17. It was only like $5 on eBay. Inside here we got the manual and save $5 on the Reign of Fire DVD. I wonder if I can still cash that in. The movie actually takes place in 2024. Where's my dragons at? Actually, maybe the game takes place in 2024 because I think the movie was like 2019. So yeah, where's our dragons? Where's our dragons at? Come on. Another game that I picked up was more of a collection. I already owned these on Steam, but I wanted a physical version of them because, it's always nice to have something physical. Devil May Cry HD collection. I got it for a pretty good deal on eBay, only about $10, which I said can't really pass that one up. But I decided to grab that. I'll probably play those eventually. One of my favorite games this year is Balatro, and I wanted to pick up the physical edition of that. It's on PS5 and Switch. I'm probably never gonna open this one, but you never know. There's apparently something inside here. 10 Balatro cards. Maybe I'll open up to see the cards in the future, but as of right now, Balatro. Also, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered. I had to open this one up because, of course, the disc was loose. I feel like that happens way too often nowadays. Inside of here was a code, but it's just for some Lara Croft gear. I don't really care about that. But I was going to get this digitally, but I own all these games on Steam, the original versions already. But I did want to get this because I think it's a nice collection. And of course, there's another one coming out soon. I think next year. I don't know if I showed this one off, but I did pick up Silent Hill 2. I know I've talked about it. I didn't finish it, and at this point, I don't know if I will. I'm just not, like, vibing with it, and I know that's kind of controversial to say. I will try to pick it up again and get through it, but as of right now, don't expect any miracles. I'm going to be talking about this game today, and actually the disc is inside my PlayStation. That's Life is Strange Double Exposure. I picked this up this past week. Nothing really interesting on the inside there, but I picked this one up this past week. Also, new pickup, Sonic X Shadows Generations Day 1 Edition. This came with a code for the Sonic Polygon version. It also had a Shadow... Oh, this is just an ad for the upgrade for the Shadow Generations. And it also came with a journal that had some like artwork in it and stuff like that, so I thought that was pretty cool. Also, I do want to show off the inside here. Let me carefully take some stuff out. The inside is a reversible cover, and I think that this reversible cover is pretty sweet, you know. I've played a little bit of this, but not enough to really talk about it yet, so I expect to play enough by next episode. And finally, for the new pickups, as in like new games, we also got Retro Realms double feature. Ash vs. Evil Dead and Halloween. I played this on stream. The Halloween game kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie. There was a free pack of cards that you got with it, which was pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to finish that Halloween game, even though I'm on the last boss. It was that bad. I will be honest. It was that bad. Not a bad haul, you might say. But wait, there's more. All right. I was gifted some things over this past month. And when I say gifted, I really do mean gifted. Like, someone was just, people just didn't want this stuff anymore. So, first things first, a Dreamcast. I never had a Dreamcast when I was a kid. I don't have a game with it. But I do have a Dreamcast now. I was looking at the games online, and I mean, there's some that I definitely would like to pick up, of course. But they're a bit expensive, the ones that I actually want for this. But I thought that, it was really cool, really nice of them to just kind of give it to me. It came with a controller. It also came with the HDMI adapter, which is something that I would have had to buy separately. So that was really nice. So, yep, Dreamcast, new game, new retro console in the collection. And then the other one is a Sega Dreamcast 16-bit edition. I believe this is like the original version of the console. I know there's some variant other versions of the system. I came from a household that did not have a Sega, any Sega. We were Nintendo. So this is actually something that I've never really dived into the realm of either the Dreamcast or the Genesis itself. I was also, when I was young, the N64 was the big hot stuff at the time, right? So I would have so my parents were they chose between I believe it was, they were like, well, we were choosing between the PlayStation 1, the N64, and the Dreamcast, and they chose the N64 because it was more family friendly. But here we are with the Sega Genesis, and once again, this was given to me by family, and I'm very excited to... I got the adapters and everything for it. I'm very excited to boot it up and try some stuff out, which I was also given some games. All right, we got out of box Sonic the Hedgehog, not for resale. Oh, there it is. Sonic Z Hedgehog. I've never been like super big on the original Sonic games, but I got two of them. I also have some collections that have these. So the one thing that was really cool is a lot of the stuff is still complete in box. Of course, I'm about to show you another loose one. This is John Madden Football. I believe this is like the original John Madden Football. So there's that. But the cool thing was that a lot of this stuff was still complete in box. So we have James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing, which I'm sure eventually I will try out all these games at least once. We got a classic Golden Axe. This is one that Golden Axe. This is one that I did play. My dad built an arcade cabinet and had our Golden Axe in it, so I have played this one. NHLPA Hockey 93. You can tell that the person who owned this was a bit of a sports fan back in the day. Everything is pretty much sports. Except for Altered Beast, which is another game that I have played in the past. The cool thing about this one is it actually has the original poster that came with it as well. I'm not going to open it up here, but there is the original poster in there, which is pretty cool. And last but not least, we got John Madden Football 93, which still has like stuff for like, hey, send this in and we'll give you some stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so very appreciative that I was pretty much gifted all this stuff. And I was very shocked. Because yeah, I don't like being like, oh, I usually don't ask people, right? I see it and I say that's really cool. I usually don't say, well, what are you going to do with that? In this case, I was kind of obligated to say, well, what are you going to do with that? Because of reasons. And I ended up getting 2 consoles. So very, very cool. Monthly rendition of this is a lot better because I have like so much to go over instead of it being like, here's 1 or 2 games every episode. So we're going to start off with the beginning of the month, things that I picked up early in the month or things that I didn't show off last time because they came a little bit too late. This episode is I'm literally recording this on December 1st, so it is a new month, and we're starting off with Mario and Luigi Brothership. Mario and Brother. Of course, I've talked about this game a couple times on the podcast now. It's been a fun time. It just kind of like I said last week, I take like a couple days off and then I don't get back to it for a little while. Same thing happened this week where I was playing it almost religiously. I think I'm about halfway through the game now, and I kind of stopped playing it, and I don't know why, but I haven't gotten back to it yet. I also talked about this game on the podcast a while ago, the Patrick Star video game. This was a pretty fun time. I mean, it's not a great game, but it is definitely like a fun one. I love the disc, it being Patrick's like tummy, and there's his belly button right there. But it was fun enough. It was fun enough, and I enjoyed my time with it. The game that I got alongside that, there was like a 2-for-1 deal at the place that I was ordering these from. It might have been Amazon or VGP. I forget which one. But I also picked up Gory Cuddly Carnage physically. I have not opened this one up yet. But I played this game at PAX the last time I went. That was about 2 years ago now, maybe even 3. And it finally came out this past month. So I decided to pick up the physical version of that. Buy one, get one. There was a great deal on this next game on Amazon. This was $10. It was the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection Expanded Edition. That means that the extra bonus games that were added to it are on the disc physically, which is the way that I wanted it to be. There's like, how many games are on here? Like 140 games. So that's that. I've been waiting on this for quite some time because I was very interested in picking this up. But when they announced that they were giving you extra games through like free DLC, I was like, oh, they're gonna re-release this again, and lo and behold, here it is, yellow box and all. So I will be checking that out eventually. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Game Collection Arcade Classics. I wanted to get the physical version of this, and I got the PS4 version. It came with a digital art book. If you get the Switch version, it also comes with the art book. There is a PS5 version. I don't remember why exactly I picked up the PS4 version, but I did anyway. At this point, I've played all the games on the collection, but I've only beaten one because I will be honest with you, I'm not really that good at the Marvel versus Capcom fighting games, or Capcom fighting games, or Marvel fighting games, whatever one you want to call it. For some reason, I get to the last boss, and I have no luck. But Wolverine is my go-to character for most of these games. The Punisher game on here, which I will be talking about in the next section, was pretty fun. I at least finished that. Next up, I have two games that I bought for Black Friday. One of them being Empire of Ants, which I did open. I have played a little bit of this. I'll talk about it the next part of the show. The game disc is in my PlayStation, so that's why it's not in there. Empire of Ants. I was very interested in this one back when it first was announced, and now it's out, and I have thoughts. I also picked up for Black Friday Squirrel with a Gun. Both of them were $20, and I said, okay, let's go with it. Squirrel with a Gun. I have not opened this one, but this is probably one that I'll be opening in December to check out, especially if Empire of Ants doesn't pan out. But I wanted to get this physically because it's very goofy, and it also includes some exclusive DLC, a sheet cover, a sticker sheet, and a poster. So, there you go. Squirrel with a Gun. Next up, this probably was actually my first pickup of November. It was Lego Horizon Adventures. I recently finished this, so I will be talking about it in detail in the next section. It came with a free outfit for Aloy, as you may or may not know. But there you go, Lego Horizon Adventures. Now we're going to move on to some games that I played on stream that I have physically. And throughout Bunger Month, we had a couple of fun things happen. We had a pretty good Bunger Month. It all started off with Iron Man Sarge's Heroes on the PS1. I have that physically. I played this game back in the day on... Oop, the disc is upside down. Oh, what the heck? There's an ad behind the disc. I played this back in the day on N64, so I do know that the N64 is a bit better. But I believe I picked this up back when I first got my PS1. There was a time where I just was like buying things up. I have, of course, back when you first move out of your parents' house, and this was one of the games that I bought. So it is a bit worse for wear. We also played Infamous Second Son. This was a replay for me. I did the 100% because it is a pretty fun 100%, all things considered. I have a knack for putting games in upside down, huh? There's that. The reversal cover is actually not too bad, but it is essentially the same thing as the regular cover. But Infamous Second Son, still worth playing if you haven't played it. We also played Injustice, Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. This edition includes all the DLC on the disc, which is another thing that I would love to see about these kind of games. The disc is upside down. Yemmy, what are you doing? But I still really love Injustice 1. I think it's much better than Injustice 2. I like the story better. I like the character models better. There's some jankiness to it because it is like a first attempt at a game like this by NetherRealm, but I still enjoyed it. I thought that was pretty good. I also love the comic books. We also played Metal Arms, Glitch in the System. I did not like this game. We did not get past one stream for it. Maybe I'll give it another chance in the future. Unfortunately, my edition is not complete, and it's also in a generic box. I thought it was okay, but I was just kind of getting annoyed with it. Here's a game that we played and finished, Star Wars Starfighter. I thought this was pretty enjoyable. I'll be talking about it here at the next section, so keep your ears open for that. Star Wars Starfighter, Greatest Hits Edition. And to wrap up the games we streamed that I have physically, the Black Ops Combo Pack. I'm pretty sure I showed this off in an episode where I was doing weekly stuff, but I bought the Combo Pack because it came with both games. Ooh, I need to take the disc out of my PS3 before I put it in storage, but It came with both of the games, and unfortunately, this just fell out. And unfortunately, this did not include all the. It was not the complete edition of either game, so it does not include any of the DLC or anything like that. I was hoping for that, but yeah, I was kind of annoyed by that when I saw that. All right, I need to rearrange my stuff and move on to the next group of games that I have. All right, so all of this stuff are things that either are bought on eBay for like $10 or less, or they're games that I repurchased, or there's a group of games that I was gifted. First up, though, we have the PSVR adapter for the PS5. I got mine. I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, or maybe even last week, where you could talk to the representative on the PlayStation service, and they would send you a free one if you have a PSVR 1 and you want to play it on the PS5. So I decided to get that. First up, I have a few games here that I wasn't happy with the condition that they arrived in, but what are you gonna do? I picked up Armament Air Attack, and the jewel case is broken. Awesome, love that. But the game itself also not looking amazing, even though it looks okay in this light. If you turn it, it does have some scratches on it. But I wanted to pick this up because we played the demo on the PS1 version of Armament Sarge's Heroes, and I was like, oh, it was pretty fun. I'll check that out. It was a 3-for-1 deal, though, so I had to buy 3 games from this guy, and all 3 games don't look that great. This one is Battle Stations. I wasn't sure exactly what this was, but it seemed like a strategy game. And if you don't recall, when I talked about, or when I played... Oh, the jewel case is broken on this one, too. The little fingers that hold the disc in place are broken. When I was playing Battle Stations, I was like, oh, is there a game that's like an RTS ship thing? And I believe that is it. So I checked that out on eBay and picked it up. The last game that I got from the seller, which I also wasn't too happy about, was the look of it, was Championship Motocross 2001. I got these games for a 2-for-1 deal, and all of them were below $5. This one, the case arrived cracked, of course, which sucks, and the game disc is probably the worst one out of the lot, so I'm not too happy about the seller. I will not be going back to them, but they were cheap, so what are you going to do? I have a couple more PS1 games. Oh, how did this get here? Well, this is one that I streamed, Shrek Treasure Hunt. I streamed this one on the channel. I talked about it a little bit last week. It's a really bad collectathon minigame collection. So that should have been in the last section. I apologize about that. What can you do now? The other PS1 games that I got were Nuclear Strike, right? Nuclear Strike, which is a sequel to Soviet Strike. So I do need to pick up Soviet Strike. The one reason that I picked this up was the game disc is awesome. I love the look of the game disc here. Not really much going on on the inside there, but I thought that this looked kind of fun. Helicopter game. And then this one was more of like a joke pickup, but yeah, I got Cyber Tiger, which is a golfing game featuring Tiger Woods, of course, as you probably already know. I thought that this was the goofiest shit I ever seen, so I decided to pick it up. Here are some other games that I picked up. We got this Terra Trilogy, 3 games in 1 collection. I thought that this was the worst looking cover I have ever seen. It's just so bad looking, and it was only, once again, it was one of those ones that's like $10. No, free shipping. I was like, okay. So I picked this up. I don't know why it doesn't look that good, but whatever. This was one that I wanted to add back into my collection because I almost have all these games, which is Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I pretty much have all these games either physically or digitally. This was one of the ones that I was missing, so there you go. And then the rest of these games are games that I was gifted or we were gifted. And we also were gifted another Wii. I already have a Wii, so I'm not going to show off the Wii that I was given. But I will show off some of the games that the person gave to us. We got Frogger, Ancient Shadow, This one actually looks pretty fun. It's like a more advanced version of those Frogger games on the PS1, which I do enjoy. So that's one added in. The other was Finding Nemo, the video game, which I thought that I had, but obviously I have Shark Tale. So there you go, complete in box, very nice. We'll probably play this eventually, because I am a fan of Finding Nemo, and I do like my, garbage, movie games. And now comes the thing that everyone's been waiting for, Just Dance 1. Just Dance 1. Who let the dogs out? Damn, who let the dogs out on the Wii? So there you go. That was the first of many, because we also got Just Dance 2. All right. Woo, Rascal Flatts. Woo. Oh, we're missing the game disc. Must be inside the Wii. I would not recommend doing that. Just Dance 3. Woo, Just Dance 3. Well, who do we have on this one on the cover? California Girls by Katy Perry. Let's freaking go. There you go. The third game in the series. And the fourth game in the series. We got Just Dance 4 with Flo Rida and Pink. And this one has a pretty funky disc. They kind of went... they're kind of doing like the That's What I Call Music kind of vibe, where they change up the cases every time. And then we also got Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party. I believe I had this back when I was a kid. I believe this is like a mini game collection, and I do remember having a Rabbids game back in the day. I don't know if it was this one. We'll find out. Also, Wii Carnival games, which got a Switch release last year, I think it was. So this is a bit dated, but, there it is. And then finally, the piece de la resistance is New Super Mario Bros. Wii with its classic red cover. And this case is a bit hefty because it comes with this giant freaking manual inside of it, which, I mean, it must just explain all the concepts of Mario Bros. Just in case you never knew what this was. So that's probably the biggest one in there for the pickups there. Looks like I need to clean it a little bit, but there we go. It's New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And that's pretty much it, except, which I'll be talking about this in the next section as well. On Black Friday, I picked up a PlayStation Portal. So I will be chatting about this and what I love and what I don't like about it in the next section, and it'll probably be the first thing that I talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into that first, but we do have some games to show off. And I know that there's a lot of people who love this section of the podcast. I know it's only a monthly thing at this point, but I think that really helped it because the stack is always immaculate. Not all these games that I purchased this year, or well, last year, but a lot of them are new to us. So let's see what we got. We're going to start off with my stack of N64 games because we did December 64 last month, which I'll talk about a couple of these games. We did do December 64 last month, which included a lot of classics in terms of N64 games. But I do want to start off with a group of games that I got in a 4-pack before December 64 started. Not all of these games are going to be good, obviously, but we did play a couple of them during the month of December 64. We tried V-Rally, what is it, 99? This is like a stock car rally game. It's a simulation game. Terrible. Absolutely, graphics sucked. Driving sucked. We played about 30 seconds of it. A game that we played and finished was All-Star Baseball 99. It was fine. Nothing too crazy, but All-Star Baseball 99. I also got a game called Knockout Kings 2000, and I believe that's Muhammad, or is that Mike Tyson? That's Muhammad Ali on the front. Muhammad Ali on the front there. This one looks a little bit worse for wear, of course. And then the final game of the lot was Excitebike 64, which was, I bought this 4-game lot for like $20, and Excitebike is worth the price. So alone. So that's kind of why I did Excite Bike. Send me the rally game? No, it's in my collection. I can't send you a game that I just showed off. But Excite Bike was a very mixed bag for us, so we'll talk about that later. All right, here are the games that I already had that we played for December 64. We got Vigilante 8, one of the best games ever made. I know it has a sequel, but goddamn, do I just love Vigilante 8. This was the first T-rated game I ever purchased with my own money, and I got it from, I think I bought it from Blockbuster back in the day. This was obviously repurchased. Wave Race 64, a very fun racing game. A little bit janky, but a very fun racing game. Pretty fun time. Namco Museum 64. This is a game that I had when I was a kid. It has like 6 or so games on it, including Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaxian, Pole Position, and Dig Dug. The main theme for this game is a banger. It's a banger. Very fun theme. Very fun games. Good games all around for this one. Diddy Kong, oops, oh my gosh. Diddy Kong Racing. Very good game, very good racing game. Still one of the best kart racers out there. Stuck on the N64. I know there's a 3DS version. Not as good as this game. Not as good as the original game right here. Definitely check this out if you haven't yet on the N64. Very, very good. Maybe they'll add to NSO eventually. And the last game that we tried to play, which I have physically, was Jet Force Gemini. This just kind of blue chunks. I was planning on finishing it, but then the game was like, oh, you have to collect 1,000,000 fucking things. And I said, no thank you. No thank you. Alright, now let's move on to some games that are, I guess you can consider them retro, that I got this past week. First up, Star Wars, not this past week, this past month. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Someone was selling this online for $11, the Xbox 360 version. And I said, yes, please. Because this was a good game. I know the Wii version is apparently the superior version, but had to pick that up myself. Because I didn't have it. I looked at my shelf. I'm like, I don't have fucking Star Wars Force Unleashed. What the hell? Also, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Second edition. This was being sold on eBay for $2 plus shipping, so it was like $5. I thought this would be kind of a fun game to test my knowledge a little bit. But there we go. We got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You can get into the $1 million sweepstakes. Rest in peace, Regis Philbin. Oh, the disc fell out for some reason. It's because the disc holder is broken, of course. Also, I already revealed this one, but Pipe Dreams 3D, another bargain that I found on eBay. This will be a pretty fun game to revisit. I played this game a lot at my cousin's house. Pretty fun disc there. Pipe Dreams, kind of like it's a pipe panic game. What do you want? And then this is the big reveal, folks. This right here is the big reveal. Final Fantasy VIII. Greatest hits edition, of course. Final Fantasy VIII. Found this for $20. And I said, you know what? It's Callus's favorite game. Why not buy that? Includes the manual. And all 3 discs. Final Fantasy VIII. Maybe coming soon to a stream near you. Alright, one last retro title. We got PSP version of Buzz Master Quiz. If you don't know, I've been collecting Buzz games for the past couple months now. And this was one of the last ones that I needed. You know what? There's probably a disc behind the... Hold on, let me see. Probably a disc behind the manual here. Yep, there it is. Don't worry, we got them all. We got them all. Yeah, so Buzz Master Quiz. I wanted to pick this up because I'm a pretty big fan of Buzz. I found out that I'm a pretty big fan of Buzz, so Buzzy Boy. All right, let's get into some newer pickups that I've had. Well, actually, let me start off with some games that I'm going to talk about today. I just wanted to show these cases off because when else am I going to do that? Rise of the Ronin. This is in my collection. I've talked about it a couple times on the podcast, and I will talk about for the last time. I will talk about it today. Also, Life is Strange Double Exposure. I think I actually showed this one off not too long ago, but once again, I will be talking about this game for the final time today. All right, next up, Miitopia. I was supposed to get a copy of Splatoon 2 from Best Buy, but they sent me Miitopia instead. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this game, but there you go, Miitopia. The reason why I bought Splatoon 2 was because it was like $5 less than they were selling this one. So technically I got a pretty good deal, which is why I didn't actually trade this one back and get the game I was supposed to get, because I got a better deal in the end. So why would I do that? All right, the next game has a bit of a story to it. It's a Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. This came from Limited Run Games this past month. And I actually ordered this copy, and they delivered it to the wrong address. So I talked to the representative at Limited Run, and they were like, well, we can send you a copy of the game when we reprint it. So they did that. They sent me a new copy. The same day that I got my new copy, another copy of the game showed up. The one that was sent to the wrong address. So I had two copies. I gave one to my other half's uncle. But I just thought that was a pretty funny thing that they both showed up on the same day. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. But Lollipop Chainsaw, the one reason that I got this was because the cover is so bad. She is bent over in an unnatural position, probably just to show off the breasts. All right, for Christmas this year, I did get a game for Christmas this year that most of you already know. I got Tekken 8. This is a little metal sign that it came with it. But I did get Tekken 8. I plan on playing this because I do fancy myself a bit of a Tekken player. I played a bit of 6, but I did like that one. There you go, Tekken 8. Alright, here are some other games that I got throughout the month. We got Trover Saves the Universe. This is a PlayStation VR game. This comes from, of course, the same guy who did Rick and Morty, so you kind of know what the comedy is going to be like in this game. They were selling this on Amazon for $10, and I said, okay, might as well. I don't have it, so might as well pick that up. Next up, another limited run game, which is Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. I've been waiting for this one. This is a pretty fantastic game. This is the remastered version. I specifically did not buy the digital version because I knew that this was coming out. So, you did good, Limited Run Games, because this is a very nice quality print. We played this game on stream quite a while ago, and when I was dancing around the notion of playing through all the Devil May Cry games in December, I decided to pick this up again because, you know, it's a new version of the game. It's the PS5 version game. I did not have this physically. I had it digitally on Steam. So I wanted to get Devil May Cry 5. This is the special edition that comes with all the DLC. And someone was selling it for like $15 on eBay, so I said, why not? You know, why not? So yeah, Devil May Cry 5. A lot of people said that this should have won Game of the Year when it came out, but it's still a very fun game. Very fun game. I'll probably replay it in the future. Here's one that is going to make people's eyes go boing. Why did you do that, Yemmy? Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 collection. This was $70 when it originally was printed. Now it is down to $40. And I said, that's a good price. is back up to 70 now. But I said, that's a good price. This is one of those games that I bought because I feel like it's only going to go up in value, especially the PS4 version. But I did not want to pay full price of $70 for it because that is a lot of money for a game series that I'm not super into. But Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 collection. I'm sorry, it stops at 6 collection there. Maybe I'm the true Final Fantasy fan. Finally, for this section today, we got one more collection of games. I bought this because, once again, it was a very good price for like an Amazon Black Friday or Cyber Monday deal. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. This is a group of games that came out on the Game Boy Advance. And they are, of course, Mega Man games. The reason why it's open is because the disc was loose. That is the only reason why. But I thought they looked kind of fun. Kind of like little strategy games. I believe this one includes both Legacy Collection 1 and 2. So that's pretty nice. And there you go. Those are the pickups in games for the month of December 2024. There you go.